So Nick, in the last section we've decided to give you more length, and what we've done is we've taken the shoulder movement as the start of the swing and Nick did the carpet beating drill. Now along the way he didn't realise that his hands had to be active through the hitting area, and what I love, and Nick you can see this if you look at the dispersion circles on the left hand side. This yellow circle is your 6-iron warm-up shots, the red circle is you hitting your first carpet beating shots, and then I asked you to hit faster, and that's why the blue circle has got more length to it, because your hands woke up. So the next stage, Nick's got shoulder turn going, he's got his Y shape going back and his Y shape going through with the hands working fast. We're now going to let the swing increase, and to do that, Nick, you're going to allow your forearms to just rotate a little bit. So that will take you from half a swing to a 3/4-ish swing. So we've added another element of power for you, but the key now, you keep the idea that once you've made that backswing, it's the hands as fast as you can use them. Okay, so Nick, basically you're going to go, the Y shape is going to be there, but with a little bit of forearm rotation. It's going to be a 3/4 swing, okay, and you're going to release the right hand and club head as fast as you dare. Very good. Now one of the things I tell all my pupils, when you create power by stretching a catapult, it doesn't matter how slowly you stretch it, it releases at full speed. So Nick, the same for you. Even if the Y shape is deliberate, okay, it doesn't stop your hands being quick. Okay. Okay, so load fully and fire the Y shape. Very good. And you've done ever so well there, because your swing length started to increase. Yeah, okay. So there's a big change there. He's got mass from the core muscles, and now he's got forearm speed, which is great. Okay. Right. Okay, Nick. So you've done very well, and we didn't even put you in Explanar, but you understood. And I'm not obliged to use Explanar. I use it when a pupil can't get the feel. But you got the feel without the Explanar. Now, again, if we just turn to look at the grouping, Simon, on the left-hand side, it's the same club, and can you see what's happened? The white circle was the last little batch of golf balls that Nick hit, and they've gone further. But amazingly, the grouping has reduced by some 40 to 50%. It's quite dramatic. So you're getting the idea? The longer you hit it, the stronger you hit it, the more accurate you become. Your strongest shots are your most accurate. So Nick, what do you think about that?
No, it's impressive, especially with a 3/4 swing.
Yeah. So let's just look at the stats and find out now. You actually flew that 164 yards through the air the last shot, and the 3 shots you hit were 154 on average. That's a 17-yard pickup. Okay, so we've gained distance for Nick because he's got the Y shape working, but he's added in hand speed. So Nick, that's really very, very good. So being a star pupil, we can go to our next lesson, would you believe? But let's just hit a couple more like that to prove the point. So you've gone from half a swing to a 3/4 swing because the forearms are now allowed to work with the hands. Right, so low deliberate, Nick, and kill it. Okay. So again, a really good long shot. Hit one more for me.
So do you have to consciously think about the body in the downswing? Or
Not at all. No, it will work ahead of the hands. Okay, you load the shoulders, but you fire the hands. A little bit heavy, but again, accurate with draw spin. Okay. So now Nick has gone from a half swing with the shoulders to add the forearm rotation. He's got a 3/4 swing. Now, the pattern in Nick's movement, he's hit everything with draw spin, which is a lovely thing. But it's quite a low flight, and again, you'll see a correlation. The white shots that Nick hit harder have gone higher. Now, Nick, the missing bit, you gave me the carpet beating drill, you gave me forearms. The last little bit is what is called wrist hinge or wrist cock. So what Nick's going to do now, he's going to do everything he's done. It's going to be wrist cock here and release the wrist on the way through. How do you feel about using the wrists in the swing?
Yeah, I'm always a little bit reluctant with wrist action in the swing, and I think it dates back to a problem I had when I was a younger golfer, and I always associated excess wrist action with shanking.
Yeah.
And so it tends to come back and haunt me every so often.
Yeah.
So when you associate the hinging of the wrists with the shank, you're reluctant to kind of let them go, and so it's something I've always battled with. So yeah. I'm looking forward to this part of the lesson.
Well, it's the unmentionable word, the shank, or the Chinese hook. When you hit the ball at the hosel, they say that it's mental. Well, it's not true. The first shank is physical. It's the second shot that's mental. It gets in your head. But if I just take this simple picture of a fence post and a hammer, that is a blow-in plane. Okay, if I turn sideways to the camera, you can see the arc. Now, this is in plane with no wrists. This is in plane with wrists. Can you see the extra wrist hinge there? That is faster, but you see, it's still in the plane. So Nick, when you make your move with the power roller, your wrists are going to be hinging within the plane. A lot of people confuse wrists with forearms. Oh, I'm rolling my wrist. No, you're not. That's rolling the forearms. Wrist cock is this, wrist hinge. So what I hope I've shown you is that wrist hinge is as accurate as non-wristy, but it'll make Nick hit the ball higher. If he hits that higher, it will stay in there longer and go further. And again, as he gets more creative with the wrists, the ball will be hit into a tighter dispersion. All right, Nick, let's give you that feeling with the explainer. That's good. Go down the handle. Beautiful. So for you, this will feel quite dramatic because the moment you turn your shoulder, your wrists are going to cock to 90 degrees. Okay? And then particularly on the way through, it's not a roll, it's a rehinge. Okay, so folks at home, if you've got a flag left and water left, the way we deal with it is with wrist hinge on the through swing as well as the back swing. So off you go, Nick. Hinge the wrists and through, and again, and through. Very good. So go one more for me. Come to the stop. Just freshen up your posture and your grip. Just gain it. That's lovely. So we're going to swing to the top and hold. So blend, shoulder and wrist. Hold. I love it. Now, pure right hand, rehinge. Very good. I think you can see the speed, you can hear it. Nick, that's great. Just a couple more.
Say it again.
Okay.
Sit back and stop.
Yeah. Shoulder and wrist. Hold. See? We can see that Nick has turned his shoulder and his wrist hinge is perfectly in plane. Fire the right hand. Very good. All right, Nick, that's excellent. So only a few minutes in explainer. We've soaked his wrist in WD-40. Let's see what happens with the ball. Okay, Nick. So we're going to go to a full swing now.
Full swing.
Yeah. And you're allowed to use. That's right. Just move the ball there. That's great. So it's a full swing, Nick, but I want you to hit it high. Good. Wow.
High enough?
I loved it.
Ah.
Very good. Now you're pleased. I'm not quite. I know there's more to come. There's another 15-20% here. It's not going to come out today, but certainly if Nick sticks to it over the winter, it definitely will. All right, well done.
It's still a little bit lethargic. I can still sense it from the first explainer.
You can feel it, yeah.
Session we had.
All right. Okay, so we're loading fully, and we're hitting the ball as high as we can with the right hand. Very good.
Not the right hand there.
Yeah, a little bit late with the right hand. All right, Nick, come on now. Star pupil, you're going to hit me a high shot, which you've just done twice, with a little bit more draw. Come on now. Load fully, release that right hand. Tremendous. Okay, so the 3 shots you've just hit, that went the furthest. Again, very, very accurate.
I'll take 195 yards 6 iron.
There we go. So let's just look at the stats on that. So folks, yeah, if you step back, Nick, Simon, can you go in there and have a look for me on the dispersion? I can't really give you a better example of that, okay? So I took Nick from half a swing to a 3/4 swing, and the final bit was to add the wrist hinge in. You can see from the vapor trail the ball goes higher. That indicates wrist hinge. It indicates more speed. So there's a link between low and high in terms of accuracy in flight. But let's go back to our dispersion. We started with a full 6-iron earlier, and that was dispersion, and just a few shots practice with a bit of help from Explanar, the dispersion has got tighter. So if you look at the stats on the last 3 shots that Nick hit, he was averaging 176 through the air. All right, that's a long way for a 6-iron, and it's 15 yards up on what he was doing just a little while ago. So Nick, how do you feel about that?
That's incredible. The speed of the change is the most miraculous thing.
Yeah.
And I've always associated sort of hand speed through impact as a little bit risky and a little bit of a risk of bringing maybe a shank into play for me.
Yeah.
And so to be able to sort of freely release the wrists and hands like that and see the ball fly that high and that long, it's incredible.
Great. Okay, well, the proof of the pudding was in the eating. Simon's a very honest cameraman. He'll tell you we haven't cheated or changed. We've just gone right through as a normal lesson would be. And Nick, let's just show the folks at home that last shot. So if you just step back and I'll replay the last shot. So this is the third. There's the grouping. Okay, but have a look at this particular shot. Okay. Lovely and high soft draw. The carry time considerably further through the air, 180 yards. I think Nick's done a great job there. He's picked it up really quickly. But can we imagine that if he spends a winter doing this, just once or twice a week at the driving range, he's going to see a huge change. He's going to be long with his irons, but what I've proved to you, that length gives creativity and length gives you accuracy. Who'd have thought it?